got to wrestle out of motion. And it's an area where I think that has made me, well, I was once an average wrestler. And once I started putting motion into my style, it made me a great wrestler. And I think if it wasn't for motion, simple motion, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I think a lot of that is due to Myron Roderick, the athletic director at Oklahoma State, who brought that into my style. And what I mean by motion is keeping your feet moving at all times on your feet. I prefer, in college, to take my man down and let him up. I feel like in order to beat the best, you're going to have to take him down. And I think on your feet is the most important part of wrestling. Because if you look at a lot of matches, whether in high school, whether in college, whether in international wrestling, the reason you won probably is because you took him down more than he took you down. If you lost, the reason was he took you down more. And so that's why I'm going to concentrate on more on my feet, because basically that's about all I know. If I went to the mat, I don't know a whole lot, because I took my opponent down. I know how to escape in college style. As far as pinning, I did a little bit of a bar arm, so I'm going to concentrate on my feet tonight. First thing I'll cover is a high crotch. It's going to be a lot different than maybe what you've seen, but it's what I feel has kind of been evolved in the last 2 years. It's something new, and you probably haven't seen this technique before because I picked it up from the Russians. Mine, I used to attack up high, up through the crotch. Now I attack the knee, and I'll tell you why when I get into it. Okay, on the high crotch, there's two different high crotch, and I think that you need to know both of them. One's an inside, one's an elbow control. A lot of times I'll attack him without touching him, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Something I always do is I take an inside step. I think the reason is, can everybody hear me all right now? The reason is I take an inside step because I am most of the time taller than my opponent. In order to get underneath my opponent, I got to go with an inside step. If I take an outside step, sometimes I get caught and get crunched to the mat, and I'll show you what I mean. One thing that I always do is I touch my neck. The way I teach it in high school and even in college, there's like nails on the mat right in front of you. And once you hit the nails, you're going to react to it and come right off of it. You don't want to spend much time on your knees. Okay? Because if you do spend your time on your knees, eventually it's going to sprawl and square upwards. So as soon as I hit a knee, I'm looking to create an angle. And you hear me say creating an angle a lot. Okay? I feel that anytime that you attack your opponent, it's important that you create an angle. You don't want to go strength against strength, especially me. Okay? You can tell that most of the time I'm going to lose. All right? If I try to overpower my opponent, I'm going to lose. So what I try to do is I try to create an angle. I take an inside step. Let's take elbow control first. Place a hand, elbow. Anytime we control the elbow, or outside control. Okay? One thing that I concentrate on is getting a staggered stance. Anytime I penetrate into my opponent, you must have a staggered stance. Too many people try to shoot from a square stance. And what happens when you shoot is you create an angle for him. And that's why you get sprawled out. Here's what I mean. If I shoot from a square stance here, okay, to a high crotch, he's going to have the angle that he needs once he sprawls here. And that's why a lot of times we end up with both things on the mat sprawled out, because we shoot from a square stance. It's something I concentrate on. As soon as I penetrate into my opponent, I switch quickly to a staggered stance. So if I'm in this position, I'm here. Now as I penetrate, my knee is important. My knee goes no deeper than half the foot. Okay? I always want a 45-degree angle in my back. The reason is because if he does sprawl, I'm going to be able to carry him. Alright? Here's what I mean. When I penetrate here, the knee goes no deeper than half the foot. Notice the angle in my back here. So if he does sprawl here, I can carry him. Alright? We get in the bad habit of penetrating through our opponent. Here's what happens if we get overextended with our back here. If I penetrate through my opponent, alright, he starts to sprawl, there's no way I'm going to be able to carry his weight. So again, attacking no deeper than half the foot when you penetrate in. Now, attacking the knee. When I penetrate, as I penetrate from an elbow control, okay, I am rotating my shoulders out. The key to the high cross, the key to any shot, is clearing the elbow. Okay? And a way to clear the elbow is rotating my shoulders out. We do not want to penetrate straight into our opponent. What I mean is I don't want to penetrate here. I want to penetrate here. Okay? In this position. We're rotating our shoulders out to help clear that elbow. Okay? Now, we're attacking the knee. Alright? And this is something that's kind of new. It makes a lot of sense to me. It's helped my high crotch tremendously. When I penetrate in, I'm attacking the knee. I am not attacking up the crotch. Okay? Here's what I mean. When I penetrate, I am not coming here anymore. Okay? A year and a half ago I did. Now I am coming here. Reason is, we get in this position, he sprawls on me, I cannot control his hips. Eventually he sprawls, he's going to extend my body out, my face is going to be buried. Okay? Attacking the knee, we can control his hips, keep him in tighter. Alright? In this position here, he sprawls, I can keep him in. Alright, before I change off. Okay, once again, when I penetrate, my knee goes no deeper than half the foot. Controlling the elbow, making sure I rotate the shoulders. Again, I'm coming from a stagger stance. So if I'm in motion out here and I move in, I'm hitting in a stagger stance. Here, penetrating in. Now once I clear the elbow, immediately I'm leaning across and bumping my opponent across. I want to put all this weight on the opposite leg. Okay? Here's where we run into a problem. A lot of us shoot in and keep his weight evenly distributed on both feet. Okay? It's going to be hard to change off. The high crotch is hard to change off anyway to two. But the only chance you really have to successfully changing off and driving across, okay, is making sure as soon as we penetrate in, we bump all this weight to one side of the body. So as soon as I penetrate in, my head's up and I'm bumping across. I'm not leaning. As soon as I penetrate, I'm bumping, shifting this weight to his left leg. So as I penetrate, I'm putting all the weight over there. Okay? Now from this position, as I penetrate, the trail leg, which is the back leg, I bring it up, and again, my philosophy, I never come any deeper than half the foot. So as I come up, I plant. I don't plant up high, okay, because the leg's going to get caught once I change off here. Okay? I come up to half the foot. This way, when I drive across, I'm not going to catch the leg. From this position, I'm changing off at the knee. Okay, as I drive across. As I drive my opponent across, I'm pointing the toe in the direction I'm taking. So as I drive, I'm pointing the toe in the direction I'm taking. Here. We're keeping our hips. The problem I see, for instance, I was coaching my brother yesterday. He's a freshman. The problem he has, the problem I see with junior high and high school, is that when we want to hit a high crotch, when they change off, here's the first thing that happens. They penetrate in here. When they change off, their legs go extended up, the butt goes up in the air. Here, in this position. It's important that you teach them, and once they change off, that they're pivoting. They're keeping their hips underneath them. Okay? So as I penetrate here, my hips are staying underneath me if my trail leg comes up. Okay? Keeping the power underneath here. Alright? In this position. Changing off at the knee. I bet I told him 50 times when he was drilling this. Change off at the knee. Change off at the knee. Every time, where was he going? He was changing off at the hip. And stay away from the hip. It's the strongest part of the body. You attack a good wrestler at the hip, you're not going to take him down. Okay? If he hits the high crotch here, changes off at the hip. He is not going to take me down. You cannot drive someone over their hip. Okay? He tries to drive across. I'm going to square it for my point. Okay? So it's important that you change off to the knee. It took me almost 3 years to break a bad habit. That's a bad habit. I finally broke it about my sophomore year in college. I was taught to go to hip. Okay? Once I started attacking the knee, you can cave the knee. It's a lot easier caving knee down than the hip. Here. actually there's only one place you can take your opponent, and that's up. Am I saying it's bad technique? For me it is. I don't know for some of the other wrestlers, some of the bigger guys maybe. They can maybe go to hip, lift them up. But again, my whole philosophy in wrestling is keep your feet moving. Anytime you lift, what are you doing with your feet? You're planting in the mat. Okay? And honestly, I don't feel like you're ever going to lift a good man off the mat on taking it. Okay? Again, I'll go through it one more time. Controlling the elbow. The key to this, again, is making sure that you bump as soon as you penetrate in. Okay? As soon as I penetrate in, I am shifting all that weight to that leg. Because he is going to react. This man is going to react when you penetrate in. Get them to concentrate on bumping across. They're not going to sprawl on top of it. They're really going to sprawl up to the mat. We'll work on some finishes from that area. But I think the reason that I've been successful with the high crotch is because when they did sprawl, they didn't sprawl on top of it. Because I bumped across. Here's what I mean. Sprawling right here. They're sprawling to the mat. So I'm shifting the weight here. Alright? And this is what we'll go into in a second. Make sure that when we penetrate immediately, we're shifting his weight to his left leg. In, here, leaning across, bumping across. In this position, as I step up with my right knee, I am pointing it in the direction I'm going. Here. Okay? Now, and it's a key point. Make sure that when they point that leg, point that foot. If we're driving in that direction, what I like to call it is an L, the letter L. We're penetrating here, we're taking down the line here. Okay, what are we doing with it? We're attacking. There's three areas you can attack. You attack here, and you attack here. Alright? On the high crotch, I'm attacking here. At this angle, getting the angle, driving across. Taking his power away from me. Alright? Making sure I get the angle by pivoting my hip. Keeping our feet under us. Okay? Now, do we usually change off on a high crotch? It's getting tougher and tougher each day. Okay? Because guys are starting to block the elbow off. Okay? Counter to it, if you've been in a situation a lot, you're blocking the elbow off. Very seldom anymore do I get the opportunity to change off as a knee. But it's something that I drill just to get a habit of changing off. Because one time it is going to be there. Alright? What I mean is this. We penetrate in, he blocks the elbow off where we can't change off. Okay? In this position. We'll cover it. Now, again, like I was saying, this man's going to react. And most of the time when he reacts, he's going to do what? He's going to sprawl. That's fine. As long as we get the bump with the head on the high cross, he will not sprawl on us. We don't want to get in a situation where we penetrate in and not get the bump. Because here's what happens. We penetrate in and we never move him. There's not a chance for it. Okay? So make sure we get the bump. Now in this situation, when we do bump, he sprawls. He's either going to go to one hand, one knee, but the weight will not be on him. Here. This position. If he goes to one hand, one leg, whatever. In this position, if the knee's on the mat, okay, the knee's on the mat in this position, okay, we change off to the ankle. We don't come out and go around. Change off to the ankle, and we drive him directly over the ankle. Do not try to pull the ankle in. We just post the ankle right here and drive him over that ankle. In this position, clear the arm and cover. Is this an area you need to drill on every day? This is more important than changing off the two. Because this is the situation you're most likely going to get into. Okay? Is low-level finishing. Very seldom you see someone changing off two, driving across. If he's not on the knee, and you can't get to the inside, okay? If he's up high in this position, okay? All we're going to do from this position is take the butt to the mat here. Okay, and how we do this, we're blocking low. From this angle, I'm going here. I'm driving this hip to the mat. From right here, the hand comes out, and we cover. In this position. Notice how I'm posting on top of my head here. Okay? Again, I penetrate in, bump. Okay? All we do is take here,
taking the hand from the knee to the ankle, as deep as we can. Okay, and just driving straight forward. Posting the head off my knees here, clearing out and covering. Okay? If I hit 20 high crotches, in a match, I'll finish with that probably 17 times. That move there. Alright? So that's trying to tell you that more than likely you're going to have to finish at a low level. Alright? Now, in this angle, one that I've been working on the last 2 years that I was kind of forced into working it, wrestling Randy Lewis because he was so good from a high crotch position, going to the crotch and tilting. So what I concentrated on was getting an angle at a different position. Here's what I mean. Hitting a high crotch, and actually I was changing to a single leg. Some of your kids probably already do this. How I learned it from a high school kid. Okay? Never did in my life until last year. Right? All I'm doing in this position, you got a man that's really tough in a high crotch position. I would even teach you, and I would even put it into your drill. We're hitting here in this position. Okay? As he sprawls, I'm taking the free hand that I've controlled the elbow at, I'm taking it to the ankle. At the same time, I'm shifting my head to the middle as I pull his knee. A lot of information here. All I'm doing here is doing this. Dropping my level, pulling the knee, going to the ankle right here. My head should end up down at the knee joint here. In this position. Covering this ankle. Alright? Now, what this does is it trap this leg. Only way this man can square up with me, he wants to rip his knee out. Alright? Because you control the leg from over to the top. Again, in this position, penetrating here, right here, pulling the knee as I go to the ankle, covering the ankle, curling the ankle. Hand must be down by the joint. We don't want to keep it high, but they can still square up here. Right in this position. Now, as he goes to the mat, he's going to fight me, come try to square up with me, whatever. All we do from this position is we pull the ankle to us, drive the shoulder in the back of the thigh, or in the front of the thigh. Set him right on this hip. Okay? Finish. Okay, in this position. The way we want to drill it, the way I drill it, okay, is I just go right into it. We don't wait. We hit it, it's an actual high crotch move. High crotch changes to a low single. Okay, here. This position. Okay, we're hitting and finishing. Now make sure that we take the hit and drop it over. One problem that some of the guys at Oklahoma State are having is they're keeping their head high. Okay, this is a problem you'll get into. Here, when they change off, they're keeping their head high. It's a problem. Okay? We're not going to be able to get the angle that we want. So make sure that we drop the head down to the joint of the knee here. Okay? That's going to shift your body at the angle you want. Okay, any questions so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why don't you torque it like Sheets does? I noticed you torque it, you don't turn your back as much.
That's from inside control. And I'll show that. That's from inside, not elbow. Any other questions?
Just show you the one that finished the most.
The one that's going to finish the most at, again, hitting the high crotch. Again, I can't stress it enough. You've got to teach them on this high crotch to bump across. Because if they don't bump across, this man is going to eventually sprawl out. Here's what I mean. He shoots in, and he doesn't move my body. Both my weight is distributed on both feet. He is not going to beat me. He's got to take me out of good position. I'm in great position. I'm still in a good stance. He's got to take me out of this position. If he doesn't, I'm going to win the fight with him. All right? So as soon as we penetrate, you've got, and you're going to have to tell him and tell him and tell him. You have to put the weight on that far foot. Here. That helps you create an angle already. Again, coming right here, dropping the knee. See what I've done there? I've come over the knee here. Okay? I bumped across. All I'm doing is taking my right knee coming over the ankle. There's several ways. You can do this, drive forward off this foot. I don't teach it this way, but some of your guys will be able to do it. Coming over the ankle. See what I'm doing here? In this position. Setting him right to his hip. Right here. Making sure that we keep this shoulder inside the thigh. Okay? How many of you want to see some, what is it? How many of you want to see some situations from that area? Would you like to see, you get in that area a lot? You get in this a lot because what? Because most of the time we shoot with the head down. A lot of times we'll get in this position, your wrestlers will get here, in this position. Okay? This is, I got into it more in college than I do now. Because freestyle now, when you start flipping and flopping, points are starting to go both ways, so I kind of quit that. Again, from a high cross position, here, a lot of times I go right into it. I'll go to the move. Right the thing. Thing you got to do in this position is make sure that your shoulder stays inside this leg. The only way you can get beat in this position is if he slips that hip outside and puts the shoulder to the outside here. All right? The feet must stay on both sides of this leg. We do not want to keep the feet or one leg split, one knee inside, one knee out. Here's what I mean. We don't want to be here. Why? Because he's going to get to our crotch. Block, okay, get a butt drag, all right? He's going to beat us. As soon as we get in this position, we shift the knees to the outside and we take them up as deep as we can, okay? So if I'm in this position, see how high my knees are. Okay? I want to stay up as high as I can, making sure the shoulder's in. Okay? Now, from right here, simple one. Turn. From right here, all I'm doing is elevating the leg up. Notice how I pry it right up on this thigh here. Okay? From here, he's going to panic, belly out, and score. All right? If not, bring the leg, arm out, and control it. So all I'm doing is posting the head, prying it up on the thigh here. Making sure that I keep this knees up as high as I can in this position. Right here. See how I'm taking the arm? I'm shooting it straight, elevating the leg up here. Okay? Hey, some guys will be idiots in here and hold on. All right? So make sure that they change off too. Here's what I mean. If he's a real scrapper, collegiate style, this is still no points here. This is still getting the habit of changing off right here. Okay? Now, there's so many situations from here. Comes over the arm. We'll get in this situation a lot right here. He comes over the arm in this position. Okay? Remember, if he's around the belly, okay? If he's around the belly, this is always going to be there. Okay? Changing off to our two, circling the back, across the body, scoring our points. Okay? Now, if he's smart, what he's going to do, and it's reaction. You don't have to know it. You can get a first-year high school wrestler to do this just because it's reaction. What he's going to do, he's going to block off the elbow here, or I can't change off. Okay? From this position, I'm posting the head right here. Okay? All I'm doing is I'm hopping across his body. Okay? At this angle, across it. I'm not jumping straight towards the head. Okay? I'm doing this. Traffic. Hip hyphen back through to the hips, not towards the head. Okay? Scrambling situation, all right? It's not much. Well, it is technique, but it's more of a scrambling position, all right? You can end up from a Peterson in that position. Really, you got to kind of get in there and feel it yourself when you get the time. Again, right here, hopping across the body right here. Okay? In this position, always hip heights back towards the hips. Looking for some situations to hold him on his back. Okay? Do not ignore the arm that is posted out here. Okay? World Championship this year, 89, Switzerland. Okay? Man posted his hand out there. If he posts his hand, a lot of times we'll get into this. He's trying to scoot his hips out here. Go to the wrist. Right here, all we do is bail back out. Take aim there. Simplest one, 2 points. Okay? Again, if you post a hand, and this may be the one you get into more because a man's reaction is going to be this. You get in there, I'm going to post the hand and try to get the hips out. Okay? Go right to the wrist in that position. Back up. Right here. Okay, just go to the wrist and back out. All right? Take your hand off the mat. Go. You can't do anything. Okay? From right here, get physical. All right? Do what you have to do. Hooking is, you get into a lot of stuff. Hooking this position. Deep arm here. Okay? Here. Okay, we'll look at a lot of, there's a lot. But mainly, again, the knees go up high. We do not want to be in this position here. He doesn't want to be in this position. Look at place. He doesn't want to be here. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go to that butt, get all I can, and come out. Alright? The only way we control these hips is making sure that both knees are up high. In this position. Alright? Because that's trapping my leg to the mat. Now I can't get the hips out. Okay? Elevating up high in this position. Okay? We do not want to split it. There's too many opportunities for him to get inside our crotch and start putting ourselves in a scrambling position where who knows who's going to score. Any other questions on that? Okay. Let's see. Inside control. This is an area where a lot of us get in a lot of trouble, especially me. Okay? I got in a bad habit of hitting the high crotch in this area, getting my arm caught. You coaches see it all the time. In this position, we shoot our high crotch, we get our arm caught. Okay? Sprawl. We end up trying to battle and bringing our hands back. Okay? Mike Sheets, 167-pounder at Oklahoma State, probably invented this. I don't know, but it sure helped me when he showed me. Taking inside control. One thing that I must say, when I'm penetrating into my opponent, whether it's elbow control, whether it's inside control, make sure that you're moving this man. Okay? I am not letting his upper body stay where it's at. I am not penetrating like this. See his upper body? It never moves. When I penetrate, I'm trying to take his body over the top of mine. Okay? In this position. Moving his upper body. You want him to go here as you come in. That's going to help you create that angle more in this position. Okay? Make sure that we move that upper body. Inside control. We've got to clear this hand. Okay? We do not want to hit a high crotch with our thumb to the inside. Here. We cannot move his upper body. Stand still. Okay? I cannot move him with that thumb to the inside. And we got a bad, everyone has a bad habit of this. What is this? It's defense. If you're going out here like this and blocking off, you know, you're not going to move his upper body, so you just must be defending your opponent. Right? What do we want to do? We want to take the elbow in, what we call a monkey grip. Grip in the back of the tricep. So when I come in, I'm in this position here, keeping that elbow in. Why do I keep the elbow in? So he doesn't rotate in and take inside control. If I want inside control. So I'm in this position here, keeping that elbow in right here. Getting the deepest grip as I can. Thumb is curled around. All right, some say, well, you're leaving him open for inside control. No, I'm not, because I'm bringing my elbow in. Okay, so when I'm in here, I'm coming inside here, attacking in this position, elbow in. Now, from a high crotch, all right, and most of my stuff is from inside and elbow control. That's about all I have. And then without touching my opponent. Again, gripping it at the tricep. I must move him in this position. When I penetrate, the technique is the same. The knee goes no deeper than half the foot. I'm looking to bump as soon as I penetrate in. I'm looking to change off at the knee. Looking to point the toe in the direction I'm taking. Looking to take him in an L. All right? The key to this, when I penetrate, I've got to clear my right arm or my left arm. So as I penetrate, I'm taking the hand, rotating the shoulders to the inside, taking the far hand to the far back pocket. Okay? And coming out. Right? I think everyone's flexible enough to do this. Okay? This I don't know, but this we can do. Alright? Taking it right over my ear in this position here. I'm trying to hit my ear. So as I penetrate here, okay, the hand slips here. See what I'm doing in that position? Now, does it look like that? No. We want him, as soon as we hit this, here's where he should be going. Right there. Okay, we're slipping the elbow. Right here, in the stand. Grab him in his position. Okay? That's where we want him, right here. Kind of in between the high crotch and the duck. Alright, from this position, he's on all fours and bumping across. Okay? Much harder than it looks, I promise. Okay? But, again, what am I doing with his upper body? I'm moving him over the top of him. I do not want to penetrate in without moving him. This ain't going to do me any good. Okay? Taking myself out of position. Moving him over the top of him. Right here. It's hard to do slowly. Penetrating in, right here, slipping the hand to the far hip. Okay, that's what unhooks it. If we try to cheat ourselves, go halfway, okay, we're not going. It's this. Making sure that we're palms facing you, that's where it slips. Okay, right here. If I try to come stop right here, he's going to catch me. Once I turn the palm to the hip, or go to the hip, that's what's going to help me slip. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, I'll hit it one time.
Yeah, why don't you come on up? Why do you always stay down? In other words, why can't you go to a high lift?
Why don't I go to high lift?
Yeah.
I
Rotate off there, get a jump.
Because I'm planting my feet. I don't want to take my opponent up off the mat. That is, again, that's me. Okay, I got to keep my feet moving. If I don't, they're going to take their big arm and throw me down. Okay? So, you know, I'm not saying you've got, that is, again, you know, that's my philosophy. I've got to keep my feet moving. If I get in this position here, you know, again, what am I doing? I'm planting my feet. I don't feel confident doing it. Okay? So I try to stay under it. I'm trying to finish low level 90% of the time. Okay? Anytime a man's hips off the mat, he's got a lot of strength. If I'm attacking in this position, his hips off the mat. If I'm attacking here, he's not that strong. Okay? So I try to put him in that position. I've hit this from inside. You've got to hit this with speed. It's kind of hard to show it in steps if that's the way you teach. So more or less you've got to kind of show it and then have him hit it full blast in this position here. Again, if he goes to the knee, we have the option to come in here. Okay. If he doesn't, coming across, we have the option of changing off. You know, it all fits right back into everything that I showed at the beginning. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay, single leg. On the single leg. Keep your camera off this, huh? Yeah. Turn them off. Every time you reach, times you spin. Unless your base is underneath it. Okay, so we're taking them knees and pivoting them under with us. Here, as he puts pressure. Taking that knee and driving it under. Boom. Out the back door. Okay. Any questions on that? Yeah. Okay. Ankle.
Has anybody been able to scissor your head on that?
Oh, many times.
So let's work off that.
Okay. Okay. Grab the ankles, all right? We take them right to their back. It looks hard maybe from up there, but I'll tell you, once you get back to where you're from and you work on this, you'll see how simple it really is. Okay? He goes to an ankle here. All right? The ankle that he goes to, we sit right down on that hand. All I'm doing is rotating my butt over the top of it. Pull your hand out. There's no way. From this position, all I'm doing is rotating to that hand. Okay? I'm swiveling my hips as I swing him over that hand that he has no post. He can't post his hand out there. So I rotate him to it and trap right here. Okay? From this position here. Hey, this stuff is simple. Okay, and we get in there a lot. I see a lot of high school underneath me. And they go to their ankles, and what happens? Here's what happens. He picks the ankle up. He tries to pick the ankle up, and this guy goes right here. Okay? So all we do is trap it. He goes here, boom. Rotate, right here. Okay, trap on both sides. Huh?
How about if you grab both?
We pick one. I'll show you in a second. Okay, right here. From this position here, if he rolls to us, okay, pivot back through, look for the half. If he rolls away from us, we try to trap, but if he's really powerful, he's starting to kick. We roll back towards the hip. We get back to the hips. Okay? So, he goes to that ankle, again. We trap it. It's so simple. Land. What's he going to do? There's not much. But make sure we post. Okay? How many of you heard Coach Jensen? Okay? About got beat with this last year because he did this right here. Guy came in, perfect picture. Grabbed it, kept hold of this leg. Okay? This guy took his hips out. Fortunately enough, he had the hips come back through here. Okay? So we make sure that we pulse him. He's going to take it back over the top of it. So once we have the leg, once we feel him dropped over the top here, we pulse him. So we don't go here. Okay? Now, if he's big and powerful, he pulls. Okay? Just let your hips go. As long as we pulse, we're fine. Okay? Let your hips swivel. Okay? Grabs both ankles. Grabs both ankles. Pick one. I always try to go to the left, to this side here. Okay? You just pick one side. Pull this hand out. You can't. All right? From right here, we pivot. Oh. Okay, I had a guy 2 years ago in Seoul in pre-Olympic tournament. Kept me holding my ankles here and started pulling. So here, pin it. Ducking him. So as long as you post his hands, he's not going up. He's not. Okay, just let your hands pull. He pulls over the top. Just let your feet float. All right. Make sure that we post both hands though. Okay, excellent position. Figure four across the neck. First of all, when we penetrate under there, we're finishing. Okay? When I get under there, I am not sitting on my knees. Okay? If I'm in here in this position, I come, boom, I'm coming out of there. Okay? But do not sit. He goes to an ankle. Again, when I'm coming under, my shoulders are shrugging too. Here. Okay? So, but with times you're going to get snapped. You're going to get that sucker locked around your throat. Okay? Grab, figure forward. Okay, from this position. Okay, look. That's the only thing to do is just scream. Hope the rest stops it. I'm serious. Okay? You have some people say you can take this. I was going to scream, but he's cutting off my breath. You have some coaches that say you can pull this leg down, but I've got him in and worked with it, and it's difficult. Okay? You know, you can lay to one side, hope for a stalemate in this position. I'm going to tell you, your arms, I get this locked on you, your arms are not locked stronger than my legs. You're not going to pull my legs off. Okay? What I was saying is maybe drop into a hip and just hoping for and try to wiggle that head out. Okay? But it's a difficult position to be in. Okay, I have scored out of it before by dropping right here. Okay? Right here. This hip. And try to drive this knee off here. Okay, but it's tough. Again though, we penetrate in, we finish quickly. Okay? Try to put the block on. Okay? We're finishing. We're not sitting in there. Shrugging them shoulders up high. Okay? Okay, one other area real quick. It covers around the waist here. What time we got?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. It covers around, what time's the session here? 8:30. 8:30. It covers around the waist, okay? He's going to do something. He is not going to just post his hands on the mat. Post his hands. He's going to be grabbing the ankle, or he's going to come around the waist. Here. Trap the side he's covered with. We dump him to the side again that he doesn't have a post. Here. Okay. In this position. All right. Make sure that we're not just dropping straight back. Notice how I'm pivoting my hips and rotating. Okay. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm rotating. I'm setting to this hip, but keeping my body upright. All right. Okay. We don't want to do this. On any of them, we don't want to take them straight back. It's going to be tough to post. Okay, make sure that we're sitting here in this position. All I'm doing is rotating here, coming up just like a sit out, or is it sit? Yeah, here, sitting right to the butt. Okay. So again, it covers up the waist here. Now, a lot of times you're going to get in that situation. Make sure the inside hip goes down when he takes us over. If we're here, this inside hip's down, but the momentum carries me over, we shift the hips. Okay? Any questions on any of that?
Yeah, after you explode straight up from the grip on the knee, over and under, you do the final rotation finish to shoot out of that.
I didn't hear that.
Grab the ankle where you're splitting them up, back straight, exploding out of there. Finish that once more.
That one, last one?
Yeah, the one before where you
The
got
first one where you're just coming up and out? Oh, okay. See where I'm putting it right down. Key is when he starts to put that pressure, we disappear. Bingo, coming out the back door. Okay, a lot of different finishes. Let me just show you a few. Okay, here. Okay, back up. Right here. Okay, get a little fancy. Simple one, I just get my points and get the hell out of here. Okay? I don't want to sit in there. Okay, any questions? Okay. My single off. Can't film this. Okay, the one I do most of the time. Alright, and I score most of my points. If I score 6 takedowns, 5 of them are with the single leg. Okay, and it's from the single leg without touching my opponent. Don't get me wrong, I'm setting him up. Okay, I'm doing something with him so he'll react. Alright? What I try to do on this is I try to attack at an angle, but a lot of times I can't. Remember when I said you should never attack straight on? Okay? That I found something out. On this, when you attack below the knee, it doesn't matter because he ain't going to sprawl anyway. Okay, you eliminate a sprawl, and I think it's the best thing that's happened with my wrestling. Is that when I penetrate, I'll eliminate him sprawling. He's got to do something funky by stepping over something else. Okay, so what I try to do, whether, thank God that I developed to both legs, okay, is I penetrate here, and I want my nose right there. I want to be covering that head. Now, can you teach this to everyone? No. I've been blessed, and there's going to be some of your wrestlers that can do this. Okay? Both my brothers learned it, and they're doing it really well. And all three of us have different physique. Okay? But I would say that not everyone's going to be able to do this, and I wouldn't teach it to your whole team as a group. All right? I'd say maybe 40%, maybe 30% can get it. All right? You gotta have a feel for it. If you don't have a feel, then you're never going to get it. What I try to do, okay, let's attack the left leg. Is I want to try to draw him to me. Okay? I want to try to make him, first of all, you've got to watch me wrestle to really understand. I'm always in motion here. I'm making, I'm never stopping here. Okay? Now, what I try to do, if you notice just exactly what his knee did, he kept doing this. I time it. I concentrate and watch. As he comes up, if I'm attacking, which leg am I attacking? His left leg. Okay. As soon as he moves his point, he plants that foot. Okay. Before he can take it back, I'm going to get to it. Okay. I've got to be again with arms linked here. Okay. I'm not going to do it from back here. Well, I wouldn't say that. I've done it before. Okay. But again, you got to be a little quick to be able to do this in the first place. Okay. And personally, I feel like I've drilled it enough that I've got quicker through my drills. I don't think I was born with quickness. Okay? People say, oh, you're just got naturally quick. Bullshit. I drilled this so many times that I learned it. And my body became quicker through my drills. Okay? Didn't come natural for me. Right? Again, I just try to time it. Some things that I do may be fake. Okay? What happens is when I fake here, he goes back. You just take the sprawl back. Okay? First thing he does, here's what happens. You can't do it. In a live situation, if I fake it this way, he's going to take it back. What he does is when he comes back up, the dippity dog steps right back up with his foot. Okay? This is really secret stuff. Good cameras on. Okay? He comes right back up with his foot. Whatever leg you fake to, he comes back up. What should he be doing? Okay? Should be recovering to the bent leg, making sure you circle out. Okay? And as they get smarter, they're going to learn this. No, they don't have learned it yet. So, they fake it. They'll step right back up. Again, here. Fake back. Boom. Hit. Okay? Because he's putting all his weight back on it. Alright? You can get him to come to you in many different ways now. Alright? Here. Pulling that head down. Boom. Okay? There's a lot of situations. Faking, faking, faking. And then a lot of times the idiots will come right into you. Okay, he comes chasing. Right? Again, you get the guys attacking you here. Play with it. Pounce on their head. And they'll come right back at you. Alright? They'll step into you. Now, like I said, thank God I developed for both sides. If he was leading this leg, I'm not going to get to that one. Okay? If he comes at me here, I'm in. Alright? But notice, okay, what I'm doing. I'm moving him without touching him. Okay? I'm touching his head, but then I'm backing away and letting him come to me. Okay? You fake one shot, he goes to his knee, steps back up into it. Alright? A lot of times, they'll do exactly what they said. They'll come right into you. What is the problem with high school wrestling in college today? Is they feel insecure. What do they have to do? They have to get a hold of it. Okay? You're out there dancing around this guy here, playing. He's dancing. What's he gonna do? He doesn't drill his technique when a guy moves like that in the workout room. So he feels insecure. He comes out going, let me hold this son of a gun and slow it down. Okay? So he starts doing this. Starts reaching. Alright? Here. And that's when you take that shot. Okay? You gotta have a feel for it. Alright? It's not, I don't even like teaching. But I know that you want to see it, but again, only a few people are going to be able to do it. But probably the best setup again is fake pumping, you step right back in. Okay? Whatever leg you're reaching, here, come right in. Coming in. Okay? How am I attacking? Trying to drive his shoulder through his shin. I want him to have big old bruise when he comes off that mat. Alright? When I attack here, alright, again, I'm attacking at a low level. I'm trying to crawl underneath the mat and come back up. Okay? My chest, when I hit this, should be about, again, not too people gonna do this, but I mean really low. So as I drop my level here, I'm penetrating in. Here. I'm concentrating on taking my head to the inside of that heel. Okay? I'm cupping the back of the heel. But I'm driving this shoulder. The free hand post. Alright? We do not want to go right straight to the leg and try to tackle like this. Okay, we're going to be off balance. Okay? So the free hand post. So as I penetrate in here, okay, I'm posting the hand right here. Okay? In this position. Covering that hand. Hooking that. Now, that eliminates sprawl. He's not going to sprawl. Sprawl. He cannot sprawl. Okay? What happens 100% of the time is he comes down to his knee. This is where we come up high and just bump him straight over this ankle right here. Okay? That takedown right there is what made me an Olympic champion, what made me a world champion. Simple as that. Okay? Not anything else. Probably that and a high crotch. Alright? So, again, you're going to have him for your wrestling, going to be able to hit this. Now you're going to get into a lot of different situations. Okay? When I attack this here, okay, in this position, notice what I do. Okay? I am not leaving my knees behind me. My knees are coming with me. So when I penetrate here, my knees are underneath me. Okay? Right here. I am not going like this. Alright? You don't have any strength in it. So make sure your knees are following. Okay? This is jump technique, if you ask me. Alright? A few people are going to be able to do it. It's solid technique, I wouldn't say it is. For me, it works for me. Never change something that the kid's successful with. Alright? Again, here, come down to a knee. Here. Okay? Driving the knee into the joint. See what I'm doing here? Okay? Come back up. I don't want to try to take him straight back. Okay? I want to try to take him to the side. Using my head, driving it in the inside of the knee right here. So now, some of you kids are going to be able to do it. I'll teach you some of it. You know the ones. Okay? Ones with big arms and okay? So the head goes to the inside. If he steps over, tries to step over in this position. As you feel him coming over, we're just coming straight up. Okay? Anytime he steps over the body, rotating around the leg. And that's about the only two situations. Getting low. And still low. You shoot. Give a shot. Okay? See where he's out here? Okay? I don't want to be there because I'm going to be able to use my knee to sprawl. Okay? Get back down. Drop it. There you go. See, lock it right here. This is what we'll do. Okay? Now, ain't no tough like here. Alright? Sometimes, let me see. Yeah, now let's start stepping. Anytime you feel him going over the back of your back, okay, that's when it's time to pop your head up. Any questions on that?
Show them that little jig you do before you set up anybody. You seem to always have a little jig. What is that for? To get your movements going, or
Yeah.
is it confidence builder, or what?
Just to get my movement going.
Oh, show them what it is.
What do you mean, jig?
A little dance. Yeah, no, just a little dance there.
Movement?
Yeah. Before you even attack the man, you're moving.
Okay, the way I'm moving. Well, that's a good point. I'm moving by taking this type of steps. Just a little faster. Okay? I am not doing this. A lot of people think this is movement. Okay, to me, this is not movement. This is movement. Little short steps here. Okay? This is movement. Joe Gonzalez, you've seen a few of Jim Jordan. Okay? Movement is short steps. This is not movement. These long heel-to-heel shots. I'm not doing anything to him. Okay? It's short steps, and anyone can learn it. Again, you got to drill it. Okay? You've got to condition your legs to be able to do that for a match. Okay? You've got to work harder than that average wrestler to be able to do this. So when you start moving your body, now in freestyle, 5 straight minutes, in high school, 6 minutes, you get a break, but them legs go quick, first things to go. But what happens when you get tired, all of a sudden they stop, you catch yourself reaching. Okay, and that's when I get beat. Alright, if my feet start slowing down, then don't have the confidence I need. So again, short steps here, standing my feet. Here. Okay, all I'm doing on the face, stepping 1 foot forward and act like I'm 10 foot through the leg. Okay? What are you thinking? What's he thinking when you start using motion and movement? What's this guy thinking? This is why I feel like this is the best. You know, I don't know why everyone's like that. Okay? But everyone has a different philosophy. What's he thinking? Well, hell, he's not thinking tap. So when is he coming? You know, he's thinking, I got to get a hold of this guy, slow him moving in a match, very seldom he attacks. I'd say, ever. I don't ever, can't remember when I'm really moving my feet and faking and really doing it. What he's thinking, I guarantee it, is he's thinking, I got to slow him down, or when is he coming? Because he's sitting there down. Okay? You put him on his knees about 5 times here, you know, and he's dropping. He's dropping. Before long, he's doing this. Okay? And that's when stuff starts opening up. But it may open up right at the beginning. Okay? Any questions on that? Yeah.
You use that to set up in front headlocks? You don't do that much.
I go body locks. You bet, right here. I go right here all the time. Right here. Fake shot, and as he starts to go back. Here. That's, I've been working on that in about the last, he's starting to do it really good. Yeah, fake pumping as he drops to one hand here. Right here. You gotta bring his leg back here. Take your hips to him. Here. Body locks. I stay out of this stuff. Okay? Both of them are good. I'm better in here. Okay? Here. Any other questions on any of that?
Yeah. How come the better guys can't get a front transfer in? Front headlock, you know, the shoulder bit.
Controlling the wrist. Anytime a man gets a front headlock, control the wrist instead of the neck. Okay? He's in here. He's on the front headlock. I'm controlling this wrist right here. Or it really doesn't matter. Controlling one wrist right here. And all you do is if it's around the neck, you pull it down to the chest. He's going to get stalemate one, or he's going to attempt. Once he starts to attempt, as long as this ain't choking you off and driving your head down, okay, you're okay. All right, he starts to try to jump around. Just keep moving. Controlling this wrist right here.
What if he catches you before you poke?
Before I poke.
Yeah, in other words, before you get that
If he
hand.
gets around the neck here, I'm still going that neck, pulling it down. If he's around tight, he's in here tight in this position. I'm pulling right here, pulling it down, clearing my head. Okay? And if he tries to squeeze it back in, immediately redress. Good. Any other questions? Let it choke you. Just don't give up. You know, go. Anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you play Cartesian? I never seen you hit a play in my life, and there you hit that. Beautiful. I thought it was a 5-point move. They only gave you 3.
And that right there. Matter of fact, he faked on me. He went like this, pulled back out, and took me down. Okay?
Let's see that.
Of course, I didn't take it. I won't say I took a bad shot. But he's going to tell you straight. Okay, he caught me right here. He was squeezing in this position. I tried to pull. He tightened back up. I hit it here. He started rotating around. Here.
Now, have you ever hit a souffle? I've never seen you before in any.
3rd grade.
Well, you saved the best for last. All right, go over that real touchy point where you had a lift. The first time we see it, and Cartesian overhooked you. You got 3, and he got 3, and the bell rang. Explain what you were doing.
When now?
As the match ended, you both got 3 and 3.
Oh.
You were lifting.
Yeah, after I hit that souffle, I got a little cocky, I guess. Started getting up the body. I never go up the body. Here I'm going with this second best guy in the world. Let's say best in the weight. Second best guy in the world. And I started going up the body. All I did was this here, all right? I hit a duck.
No, you hit it on the side.
I hit a duck under
right,
here.
there's what you
And
had.
I started to hook here, and he hooked in
Didn't
here.
pinch that knee, did you?
Right here. He hooked right here. And I went ahead and throw.
Now, it looked like
No, what
his
he did.
shoulder hit, then he came on top of you.
I thought I got 3, him 0.
Oh.
It ended up him going 3, me nothing.
Yeah, I was amazed that you went to second dimension and tried a body lift. And that's
no.
great. I think you were the greatest first dimensional wrestler in the world. Now you're getting into the second. So this is progress. I think it's great.
It was early in the morning. Anyway. Okay, no questions. questions on single? Okay. Mainly, I concentrate on the high crotch.
His questions are off the spot.
After the high crotch, the single leg, and the duck under. You see me doing anything, it's probably one of them three. And the duck under, again, the reason I like this is because it's all related to each other. There's a lot of times when I'll get in a single leg or a high crotch and have to switch to a single. Okay? I don't know if you're understanding that. Let me go to the duck under real quick. On the duck under, the most simplest move there is. And it's so easy and so successful because why? Because what your opponent do, he leans on it all the time. I have a bad habit of leaning. Okay? We have a problem with leaning, which sometimes isn't bad, but the guy is most of the time leaning on you. Okay? So on my duck under, okay, what I try to do is I try to not to make it obvious, first of all. Okay? This is the worst duck under we could possibly do. Raise the elbow. Okay? Might as well just whisper in his ear and say, I'm hitting the duck under. Okay? We don't want to make it obvious. So if I take inside control, all right, or if I take elbow control, it doesn't matter. All I'm doing is I'm taking the elbow back. I'm dropping my level down. Okay? From this position. If I'm in this position, I'm in here. I've got elbow control. All I'm doing is taking the elbow back. The key to the duck under is not clearing the arm. It's the opposite side. Okay? We've got to make sure that we have that monkey grip again. Because I've got to rotate that part of his body down to the mat. I do not want him standing straight up. So what do I have to go to? I have to start getting up into the lifts and stuff. Of course, now I can do that now, but no. So I want to get a monkey grip. I got to rotate this body down. So all I'm doing from inside control is pulling this elbow back. He's controlling my elbow. We're in here tight. All I'm doing is rotate. The technique's the same as the high cross. The knee goes no deeper than half the foot. The trail leg comes up and I drop across. Okay? Except I'm not attacking the leg. It's a duck under. Controlling this opposite side right here. See what I'm doing? So as I penetrate, I'm pulling down here. We're in here tight. All I'm doing here is pulling the elbow back. Right here. Snaky his head. Okay? He's not ready for it because we're not telegraphing. Boom. Okay? Tommy Chertow taught me this. Alright, again. Controlling the elbow. Here. Now, one thing I want to try to do. He's got head position here. I've got to fight. And that's just a good drill besides the duck under. On high crotch or anything. You've got to fight and hip control. Here. Okay, again, pulling the elbow back. Get tight like a wrestler. We're in this position here. Okay, all I'm doing is dropping my level, penetrating, pulling the elbow back. I'm not raising it at all. Here. Okay. That's the near side. And that's the best way I can explain it. We have elbow control. Okay. From here, same thing. I'm just pulling the elbow to me. See? Right here. Alright. Nothing's tricky. Well, it is kind of tricky because I'm not making it obvious. Okay? The problem we get into is this. When we penetrate, and even me, the problem is when you start raising this arm, this man's going to react. Okay? He starts raising my arm automatically. Okay? This leg's going back. Okay? Because guys drilled so many high crosses, duck under, raise the arm. Tries to duck under, keeping it up high. Here in this position, this leg's going to go back, so when he starts to square up, he ends up here. Hip to hip. We don't want to be there, we want to be here. Okay? So boom. Again. This, as I penetrate, this is going down. Okay? Any questions on that?
I'm doing the same thing with the head.
Huh?
I'm doing the same thing with the head.
Again, we don't want to make it obvious. If you notice, I never went to the head on anything. You ask me, this is bad technique here. Okay? It's not good. Now I'm going to get into some controversy here, but it took me again. This is one of the bad habits I developed. And I never understood it. But why can't I hit my head lock like I did in high school? Okay? Or why can't I hit it against the best guys in high school? There's a not much here, you know. I mean, if you're in Greco or something, yeah. But again, I'm not a Greco wrestler. I don't go to the hip because when we go to the hip, what do? Plant the feet. And I don't want to plant the feet. Now, don't get me wrong, I go to the hip, but when I go to it, I'm moving it, all right? Okay, I'm not staying on it. Another reason is, he's a smart man, what's he going to do? He goes to my hip, which they do a lot, and I score. Just control the elbow, take your arm to it. He's not going anywhere. Okay? You know, there's a lot of, again, you may not score, but I'm going to tell you, he's not going to score on me. Okay? By going to the head here. Okay, I know there's a lot. Now, if you got some different philosophy, you start doing this stuff here, you know, that's different. I'm not saying it's bad or good. You know, that's just a different type of style of wrestling. Okay? You start looking for dumps and stuff like that. Then you want to go a little bit.
Show us your snap down like you did the Bulgarian gentleman. The very first thing you hit. Snap down. Spun around.
Okay, I'll cover that. On the duck under, let me finish this duck. Opposite side duck. This is my favorite one. And a lot of times this is good on the high crotch too. Duck in the side. My high crotch is this side, my duck under is to this side. Okay? Unfortunately, I don't have a duck or a high crotch to the other side. So I make up with it with a single leg to both sides. So you need to attack both sides. You know, a high crotch on one side, a single on one side, at least. Opposite side duck. The thing we do here is really tricky. He's lost. If you look at masters, and if any of you coaches evaluate tapes or anything, anytime a man positions his head on one side of the body or the other, he's going to attack that side. 99% of the time, I'm telling you right now. I watch the Russians, Bulgarians, tape after tape, spend many hours doing it. Okay? If they take their head to this side of the body, they're going to attack this side of the body. Okay? With a high crotch or something. All right? The thing you don't know is when he's out here. Okay? And then he comes in, and then he may hit something. If he comes in here, he's going to attack the high crotch to this side, or he's going to attack the single leg to this side. Okay? And you guys know it when you wrestle, or your kids know it when they wrestle. They just don't know about it. You know, they know it. This guy, they're already starting to lean back just out of instinct. They know he's going to come to this leg. So what I do in this position is I control, again, I'm attacking his right side of the body. So I control the tricep from this side here. Okay? From right here, all I'm doing is pivoting under. See what he's doing here? He's already taking the leg back. Okay? So I'm just going to drive his weight where he doesn't have a post. Pivoting under here. Okay? Opposite side duck. All I'm doing is pivoting under. Right here. He controls, and look what he's doing here. He's grabbing the tricep. Okay? All I'm doing is elbow back. Not doing any raising. Okay, right here. As I penetrate, I'm pulling. Force here. Okay? I'm making it disappear. Because when he puts his head on this side, again, I said it's an instinct. He comes in, he ties up here. I'm automatically here. I do it too. Okay? I take that leg back. He's here, I'm here. Okay? All of a sudden, he ducks here. Now this side. He ducks here. I have no post. Okay? So, you'll find that to be really, and it's simple, because they're not ready for it. When you start penetrating under this thing, you're going to the same side of the body here. Right here. He is still actually coming back down and keep taking the leg back. All of a sudden, one off the side here. Here. Yeah, post. Any questions on that? Again, on all this stuff. High crotch, duck under, even the single leg. What am I doing?
Your single leg,
Monkey grip.
the inside.
Huh?
On your single leg, when you showed it, George, the inside, you get your fireman's your high crotch at the beginning, and you got outside slip down and outside low single leg out of a high crotch shot, right? You never hit the outside single leg on a low shot.
The outside single with the head on the inside?
No, outside.
No. is what I mean. Okay, I attack here. See what he does? All right. Now, a lot of...
Finished off a high crotch though, the outside low single, head down.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, my head was in the back. Here. In this position. This is a lot different here because I'm trapping the ankle. Okay? He can't square up with me. Okay? But again, like I was saying, concentrate on that monkey grip. Alright? Here, taking the hands in and controlling here. Right here. Okay? But we got to keep the elbows in because if he has an outside control, he keeps that elbow away from me. It's instinct. I'm going to come inside. Okay? But when you come inside here, okay, controlling and keeping that elbow in is a lot different. Okay? A lot of things are open up for you. Personally, I don't work that much inside. Step on my ductings. You've got to have inside control or you can't move his upper body. Outside control is kind of tough. Inside, we can move his body here. Okay, we pull. Rotate him over the top of us, constantly. We want his upper body moving. When through your drills, that's the only way you can learn it, is moving his upper body on your high cross. Okay, I'm moving, elbow control, moving his upper body. Okay, on the ducks, again, I'm moving him over the top. I want him like this. Okay, any questions? No questions.
Yeah, on that opposite side duck, you actually supposed to jump to the other side, pull your arm back.
Okay, remember I said, all this is the same technique on the high crotch and the duck under. The knees inwards to the middle, no deeper than half the foot. So that's easy to remember is when I penetrate under, okay, okay, same technique. Okay. Do not forget about your high cross technique. Okay. In this position here. From the opposite side. What's he do? He takes the wrong leg back. Okay. Any questions?
You got it? Let's give him a hand, fellas.
By the way, did anybody recognize Aaron Chertow?
He was a lot lighter than we saw him last time. By the way, there's a Ford Econoline van, license number 546CPX. Your battery's dying. At this time, I'd like to bring on, if you guys, I guess while Kenny's teaching, if you want to take a little bit of break, I'd rather not send everybody out and take the chance that it's too hard to get everybody back in, so I'm sure he won't be offended if you take a little bit of a break at some point when he's teaching, but don't miss too much. Ken Chertow right now is a grad assistant here at Ohio State. We're really happy to have him. He's going to medical school, and he's a three-time All-American, was on the Olympic team in 1988, and so without any other, I guess, delay, we'll bring on Dr. Chertow. Oh, he's not doctor yet. His partner will be Olympic sports Michael Neal.
You gotta go to midnight here. We're not gonna get out of this. Okay, before I get out there, I want to introduce you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to go over 2-on-1 series. Maybe I'll take your mic, just in case any of you are new to the sport. 2-on-1 position, underhook position right here, and then a little bit of the upper body situation here, over under. Okay? Can everybody hear me without this? You guys at the top hear me? Good? I'm not much for speaking. When I teach it, I'm going to teach 2-on-1 all as a separate entity, and then I'm going to teach underhook as a separate entity, and then I'm going to teach the over-under as a separate entity. But you got to really understand that they tie together real well. Just as a high crotch, single, duck, double, all those tie together. So do a 2-on-1, underhook, upper body situation. you'll end up in all of those if you're fighting ties up here in this type of situation. Okay? But I'll teach it separately. Okay? Also, when I teach it, I'll teach a series of things from each position. Okay, if I'm here, here's the 3, 5, 10 things you can do from this position. Okay? What are the higher percentage things? When should you hit which one? Such, things such as that. But in reality, you got to feel what the man's doing and take what he gives you. Okay? I'll present it in a certain fashion, and then after I present the 2-on-1s, what I'll do is drill for a few minutes and kind of just take what Mike gives to me. Then I'll move into the underhooks and the upper body. Okay? Also, a little bit philosophy stuff. John Russell's, out here obviously, quick stuff, high crotch single, double, all right? And he started to allude to this, this stuff in here is not his cup of tea, all right? And it's kind of my cup of tea, all right? I don't have I discovered early on, I'm not explosive enough, especially early in the match, when the other guy's fresh, to jump around out here and have a lot of success. I've experimented with it, I do it some. Like, the guy thinks I'm going to underhook him, it's a good time to dive at his ankle. Okay, but in general, I'm more in here, a brawler type of technique as opposed to quick touch-and-go stuff. But what you definitely, you're teaching a team a series of calls, okay? You're all coming upon the beginning of the season. All right, you're not going to jump into teaching them underhooks and 2-on-1s, obviously. Okay, you're going to start them off. Let's forget the setup a minute. You start them off with your double, your head outside single, your single, ducks, what have you. Okay? And then you're teaching setups, okay? When you're talking about setups, you're talking about inside tie, outside tie. John left off with the duck out here. Okay? Elbow control. So from around this being an inside tie, this being outside tie, you kids all gotta understand that. I mean, that's gonna come up match after match in every wrestling situation. You can't spend the whole match in a tie-up situation. But I want to be there as often as possible because I'm not real comfortable out here. I think there's too many things he can do to me, and I don't have, a lot of, I don't like to go for my that much. I'd rather be in here. Okay? So what I want to do is keep real good position while we're fighting hands, while we're doing this stuff, and learn how to get into a 2-on-1 or an underhook or an upper body position without him attacking me. Alright, that's real important. Don't just lunge into things. Alright? One last thing then. The techniques I teach you 2-on-1, underhook, etc. I'm right-footed. I'm very non-ambidextrous. I do almost everything with my right foot. Alright, so when I'm over here on this 2-on-1, for example, I'm going to hit a single to this side, and I'll probably hit a high crotch to that side. Okay, so if Mike grabs my wrist, I'll probably hit a head outside single over here. Okay, I use the words high crotch and head outside single. For the same purpose, okay, same word basically, same move. If I'm on this side over here, I can hit a single leg here, but what I prefer is to hit a high crotch. Okay. I'm also, I'm better on my knees. If I get stopped, I'd rather be here than here, just as I'd rather be here with my head inside than over here. Okay. Now I can do things on both sides a little bit too, especially as recently I've been trying to get better at it. But I grew up on a system, very one-legged system, and it's easier to learn that way. Look at most of our great American wrestlers or great European wrestlers, the best Russians and what have you. Almost all of them do lead a foot to a degree, wrestle something like this, guard their lead foot, wrestle, they don't do this a lot, things of that sort. So everything I teach is going to come from that type of idea, that I want to be on a head outside single here, or a high crotch over here, whether it's here, or here, whatever. Okay. Just some basic foundation of what I'm going to show. Does anybody have any questions on that type of thing? Okay, please, as I go through the stuff, please don't hesitate to stop me and ask something. Ask me then rather than later so it fits in and, it ties. We don't come back to it. Don't hesitate to break up, my train of thought or whatever. I'll find my train of thought again. All right? So first we'll start off getting into a 2-on-1 position, okay? First thing I do is called climbing the arm. All right, we're in stance here. Depends which arm I want. Say I want this one, I'll go wrist, arm. Okay? You never ever reach across a man's body. You're giving him an angle to you. Okay? 1, 2, climbing up, 3, and I'm there. Okay? Very simple. You want the other arm? Here. Okay? That's one real easy way to get into it. All right, another. You're in here wrestling and he's holding you off, like that. Cross wrist clear. Okay, rather than the same side wrist, here you could reach across it. Okay, now I'm in 2-on-1 again. Right. Don't reach across down here. Here it's like this, 1, 2. Notice as I go with my second hand, I'm not like this, I'm like this. I'm already moving to the side of my 2-on-1. Okay, we're up here fighting hands. He comes inside on me. There it is. Cross wrist clear. Okay? Guys on my collar, most common tie-up you see in high school, okay? He's in there like that. Okay, well, here's what you do, okay? Now, how do you do that? He's real tight. Okay, you need to create some space. Good trick to do is take your hand and hold him off there a little bit. Okay, rather than just shrugging and having no control, here, that way this hand will be able to catch here. Okay? As opposed to just doing this and maybe having a facial right away. Alright, and that's the most, you see that all the time. You see high school kids in here like this. Okay? Watch my shoulder. Okay, so that's the hand part. You're here, it's kind of like cross wrist before. Okay, very similar. Here, and you're shrugging your shoulders and head. Alright, as you move over to the side. You don't want to stay square with your man. Because he'll square up with you. And then you don't have anything. Let's say he takes this side. Over there. You get 2-on-1. He wants to be over there. I want to be over here. Alright? So those are 3 real simple ways to get into it. There's some others. I'll tie this a little bit. If I'm underhooking, we'll come back to this. He's got me clamped off. Okay, and I don't feel comfortable here anymore. He's got tight whizzers. I will take this wrist, shove it down, go there. Wrist plate. See my elbow? Can't pull it through there. I've got to shove his wrist down and back. My elbow slips through. I'm there. Usually I'm attacking right away. Another way to get there. Once again, underhooks and 2-on-1s tie together. Okay? Those are the ways I get into it. There's other ways to get into it. Okay, those are some fundamental ways. Maybe I should. Okay, let me give you one other one because it ties into the upper body position. All right, here I am in an upper body situation. I'm uncomfortable here. I feel like you guys are gonna throw me. Get into his hips. I'm a little leery and say I don't want to be here. This is called a thigh prop. You take your overhook hand, turn it palm down on his thigh, and you move over to that side. Okay, we're here. You don't just go like this, jack your underhook up, because you won't get anything. All right, you gotta lower your level, right here. Circle, control this wrist, down where I want to be. All right, so there's 5 ways to get into it for you. All right, I invented them from wrestling, you know, but those are some things you could actually be looking for ways to get into it. Ways to get into it. Obviously, you do not want to present all 5 things to a team at once. To one of your elite wrestlers, yeah, go ahead and throw them all at him, let him pick what he likes. Just like I'm throwing a menu of things at you, and you pick what you want. All right? So now we're into it. No matter what technique you use, there's some common principles that apply. All right? If I'm here, I already said I want an angle. Okay? I also want pressure down. And I also want pressure in. He'll be facing me. I don't want to stay here. I want to be crowding it. Circling, getting an angle, sagging down, and crowding it. All right? I think that's important on anything. Like, if you're on inside tie, you don't want to be pushing into the guy. You want to be pressure into him, but down. This type of pressure. So he comes back into you. Or, you know, so here he comes up with his arms, or he pushes into you, but you don't want it to be going like this, because that makes you go. Okay, well, it's the same pressure here. Like this. All right? Down, circular, crowding him, head position. Okay? If Mike puts his head in my neck, I don't have a whole lot. Okay? So when I acquire the 2-on-1, I don't want to say, okay, I've got it. Now I better move, get an angle, get head position. No. When I'm going for that 2-on-1, I want to be there. I want to be moving him already. Okay, he posts my shoulder. Okay, go to different setup. He posts my shoulder, cross wrist clear. I want to get over there, move, and get an angle. Okay? Kids will not do that. They'll go, the most common, they're in here, right? That's another one. Don't tell them they don't need this hand on the head. Here. They'll go here and they'll say, okay, I got it. Meanwhile, the guy will be facing them. You got to tie it together. You got to get into it, and get into good position all at the same time. Same thing when we go into the underhook. Okay. Now, if you'll notice, I kept changing grips. All right, right in here, this hand, I don't know how many you picked it up, I fiddle with that hand. Depending on what technique I want to hit, I will put the hand palm up, hit palm up, or palm down. All right? And I'll also go to this position, a lockdown position. All right? We're going to start off with a single leg, easiest take that we get. Clear it off, move into the angle. I like to switch the palm down, but not a necessity for this particular technique, okay? But I'd like this down. Okay, I'm circling, he's circling, I'm here. Do not drop both hands at once. Circle, he'll be circling with you. You're gonna attack here, not really the knee like this, but like this. There, he'll still be circling. You may be like this, you may end up just like this sometimes. Okay? Don't go like this, don't go like this and drop both hands. Your outside hand comes a split second sooner than your inside hand. So I'm in, wham. Alright. Not going to my knees. Now, the thing, I'm not going to go into single leg finishes, but two things I'd like to do that are real conducive to the pressure I've into him. Like I said, if he's running that leg back hard, I'll usually just try to tap him. What I call cut across. You're cutting across the front of his body. Okay, you may have heard it called bar cigar. An Iranian dude made that real popular in the 70s, okay? Cutting across. I'm not slipping my head back out that way to a double. Cutting across the front of his body. Okay? If I get his leg pretty cleanly like that, I'll clear it out in front of him. Depending on what you use from here. Some people like this position, some people like this, this. Depends what your team uses, okay? Whatever, I'm sure you shoot some kind of signal where you're here, you tell the kids to clear it out. How you clear it out is, but you want to do it right away. Don't stay in this position. Get it out. Alright? Because you're shifting his weight. Here you go. His weight shifts to that leg. That's time to clear it. Okay? Next thing, alright? And I don't get this. You're not going to get the guy's leg all the time. Or most of the time, I don't get it most of the time. He's going to pull his leg back. Okay? But it makes him react to me. Okay? Here. He reacts, boom. I'm going to this hip. Call it a hip drag. Not around here. I'm just catching his hip. That keeps my shoulder right here. I'm like this. Now I got a couple options once I get here. Suck him to me. Alright. That's kind of the ideal. You get here, you're clean. In freestyle, you have a throw from there. In folk style, you got a clean lift. His arm's trapped. You're not here. And kids sometimes want to go like this. The guy stands up with it. Want to go like this. That's not as good. Keep the arm in there. This is a much better position. There's switches and rolls, and the guy runs up the mat. Right here, the guy should be pretty much cooked. If the kid's got any kind of hips at all. Alright? Now, a good man can catch his hip and he keeps his facing still. Okay, you gotta have some tension. Keep facing hard. Okay, number one, don't let him bring his arm as far. Keep his arm here as possible. Step in with your hip. Hip in. Okay? Just like a hip toss per se. You throw the guy like that, except it's not as an exaggerated throw. He's facing me. Step in. It's a back step, but I'm not stepping with my trail leg. Here. Bump. Freestyle. Run him over. Or even folk style, for that matter. You're trying to get the guy to his back. Probably won't. In folk style, you probably won't be able to get him over here and hold him. He'll probably, right here, belly turn into it. Yeah. But usually, if I get it clean, I can break the play. Like that. Okay. Don't try to make a exaggerated kick toss out of it. Okay, that's not really what you're looking for. He's got his hips away from me. Just looking to step in that, just enough to bump him. Like kick, It's okay too. I just like to step in and hip and pull. Hip and in. All right? From there, single leg. He pulls leg back. You go to the hip. He runs away from that. Back to the single. Okay? It's straightforward. Combine those things. You go to his hip. He's there. He forgets about his leg. There. Okay? He forgets about his leg. He pulls his leg back. He forgets about the hip. You're there. Real simple. No counter stuff. I mean, there's really not anything you can do here. All right, you dive in it. You get here and go like this. Now you're taking more risk, which is fine. I mean, there's times you're going to do that. Okay? Let's say the guy just runs away. Run backwards. That's a good time to shoot your knees. Okay? So kid just bolts out of there. Most guys don't. A good wrestler's probably going to try to face you. The guy just bolts. You just take good old-fashioned single leg sprawl. I'll take this position any old day. Okay, but I prefer not to go there. I prefer to take a snatch single or use the snatch single to set something else up. Okay. A lot of okays. Now, here, I've gone from the hip, I've gone from the single, I've gone here. All right, if he's bending over, I will take his head, snap, right there. Now, tomorrow's presentation, I'm going to do a bunch of front headlocks. Okay, one of my most common takedowns is front headlock. Because I'm always trying to get a hold of the guy, and he's pulling away with his hip, and get his head under me. Okay, so I'm going to show you a lot of ways in these different positions to get the guy's head under me, and tomorrow, we'll tie it together and do a bunch of front headlocks. Okay? But if he's pulling away and bent over, you take this hand, not this one. He can duck you here. Okay? You take this outside hand, as he's pulling away, and snap him into my same arm put over. You like front headlock on this side. Okay? If I'm left and I want front headlock here, I cannot snap his head, bend over. I gotta go like this. And whack over. Which I'm better at from the other side. He's pulling out of this. I'm there. Okay? Don't reach. No, that's a no-no. Mike, I get Mike's head 2-on-1 me, he puts his arm over my head. Wham! Just asking for trouble. Arms in. Just like in a regular wrestling stance right here. Arms in. Okay, so that's if he bends over. Now, he's going to be trying to, another counter reaction, he's going to try to face you. Okay, stay with him. Just keep chasing him. Right in there, go for the leg, go for the hip, go for the head. If he really gets out in front of you, he's going to do something, okay? A couple things he may do. Number one, he may grab your wrist. I assume John showed a high crouch. Is that correct? Kind of caught the tail end. He's got your wrist, he's facing you. You're here. Claren, it's like Smith. Listen. You're there, he takes a knee, I believe. You're there. Now, notice, ideally, I'm going to get an angle real quick on this shot. Well, I'm coming across his body. So, I better be darn sure right here. I turn up real quick. Now, before I go any further, I'm showing a lot of things. I will be showing a lot of things for you. But you got to keep in mind, you try to implement into your program what your team already does. If your team is strictly a single leg head inside team, you're not going to take a 2-on-1 and show them a high crouch. You know, unless you're going to implement a whole high crouch series and get the kids good down to here. Because you're going to get caught in here sometimes. Okay? Or let's say your team's just a fireman's carry, inside fireman's carry, outside carry, dump team. Well, then you're going to work 2-on-1 into those things, okay? So pick what you like. So I'm going to show you how to get there. And this does happen to be one of the ones I like. I like taking high crouch. Because I'm doing this, and just grab my wrist from there. This is the usual finish I get. Because that's just what happens. Here, I'm doing this. Here. It's hard to get all the way back into him for a double leg, but I can get here. Just like that. Okay? I could give some detail on that. We'll just bag the detail for that. You know, a little different situation. If he posts my shoulder, right here. There, he's holding me off. Okay? Now, when I was in high school, I learned a double leg, okay? Guy posts, I throw it up and double. Probably familiar with that. if I don't get it, I get squashed. I don't like getting squashed at all. I got little arms, and when I get underneath the guy, I don't do it. I mean, if I get the guy, I can go here real powerful. I get extended at positions for the birds. All right? So the stuff I hit, I don't want to hit. He goes there, sprawl. A little late, but here, this is not where I really want to be. Although this ain't too bad, sprawl harder. That's not where I want to be. All right? I'd rather be here, sprawl. I'd rather be here. I got stuff here. Okay, I can finish a high crotch and my knee is good. Well, once again, it depends which team does from there. So notice, post my shoulder, I'm here on the wrist. Sometimes you post the elbow, in this situation you post the wrist. Okay? Grabs my wrist, which is something you can do from the open too. There's this high school kid I'm working with in my high school. He loves going like this and shooting. I told him to let the guy grab his wrist. He ate that up. I mean, it's so simple. But it happened, or a drag. Okay? Which is, I do a lot of wrist stuff too, because when I'm climbing a guy's arms, obviously I can't always get to 2-on-1. So I learned to get good off the wrists. With little drags, little shoves, clears. Alright? So there you go for a high crotch. That pretty much is what I hit from this side over. Alright, I don't go into my throws left-handed very often. I don't do an inside trip very often. Alright, that's another thing. If you have an inside tripper, if you have an individual, you don't, showing a team an inside trip, I don't know if that's the right move, okay? But if you have certain individuals that already developed the trip, the technique that is to it in a very primitive form for now, you circle the leg to you, step in, get your head over there, bam. Alright? I'm not going to go into detail now. But you want the weight on this leg, you want to get your head over there. Now, cover that. The worst thing that happens, you get loose. Alright. Now, on the other side, I mean, you can do everything on the shoulder here, over there too, just that I'm not as comfortable on that side. So I want to present it to you in a form that looks right. Alright? Right here. I don't do this anymore, or very rarely in college competition, international competition. I did a lot in high school though. Okay? To get a fireman's carry, I got two good setups. One is just a sag on the guy. Sag real hard, he's fighting up hard, and I'm sagging. You rotate your knee. Really tight. I think I forgot to mention. I was talking about the bottom hand. Top hand, it's low and high. It's not no man. That is no man. Low and high. Right there. Okay, that is real nice. Here I can do it lefty. I'm in there. I usually go, once again, I'm usually not this way. I usually like to pull it down this way. But this is not wrong. See, this one's whatever. So you're here sagging, let go. Watch my knees move. Wham! Now I don't always do my regular fireman's carry. Looks like this, where I step in like a high crotch, just rotate. Or you make it into a running situation where you're like this. Wham! Okay, but this is different. Why? Because there's no space. If I tried to step in here, I'd get the wrath of his hips big time. I don't want that. I want to be sagging and then
Still moving.
okay? Next setup. Now this is kind of interesting. This guy showed this to me. Tomiami, the guy who won the Olympics at 125 in 1984, beat Barry Davis. When I was at Penn State, he was there. Okay. And I thought it was really weird at first. It looked like too fancy or something. This guy's a short, stocky dude. All right? He does like this a lot. He comes out front, and I've worked this, you know, I wouldn't show it to you if it was me. He did it to me a bunch, and I picked up on it, and I'm able to do it sometimes. Once again, I don't try to get off against college guys, because you end up sometimes losing the arm. But in high school, fireman's carry is a very effective move. All right, you're coming up front, you go, wait. So instead of sagging, let's say you're sagging, but he's kind of squaring up a little bit. You're just not there. Wham. Two things you're doing. You're facing him, and you're jerking the crap out of his arm. Wham! When you go wham, he goes wham. You go underneath. Wham, wham. That's how it works. And you got, once again, you got to explode through it. You got some long, lanky kid, you're not going to have him doing that. Okay? It's for a shorter stop here, guys. All right. Once again, remember, I mean, it's pretty easy. I can go here, back to the other stuff too. Okay? Okay. Outside hand, inside hand, clear. Okay. Here, like this, and he's standing tall with me. I couldn't quite get anything going. I couldn't get down there. He pulled it back. Notice also, this is a good point. I don't let go of the wrist right away, right? I'm here, he's pulling my leg back. I don't go like this and lose my 2-on-1. If I can't get his leg, I can't get his hip, keep squaring up, keep squaring up. I'm gonna stay on my 2-on-1. Because I've got a better position than him here. Okay, there's a lot of things I can do to score on him. There's not that many he can do to me. So that's a good reason to stay here as opposed to going here. Another good reason is because I've got his arm trapped in there. See, like that, for a split second, with some little extra bounce. This, if I can get his arm here, this is better than this. Might as well have his arm in there, so why let it go? I feel like I'm getting away from the side of those people over there. So you're in there, you got all that stuff. The guy's standing up tall with me. I'm doing this stuff. Right here, foot scoop. Real straightforward, simple move, but I've tried it with a lot of kids and they get klutzy and they fall on their faces and get bumped around. It's real easy. Take your foot, just lift it and start doing it. Smash it in the ground. That's for the guy who stays in. The guy's brave. He's standing there tough with me. What am I going to do to him? I can't do it down there. He kicks in, he pulls his leg. He's there. So get here. Right like that. Passing his wrist by. It's a foot scoop. Right here. If he comes back up, no problem. Do that from the other side too, obviously. He's in there, I'm doing this stuff. And it's kind of also, you're in this position with the wrist and hip. And if you can't hit him, he comes back in front of you. You go here. Foot scoop. It works different every time. There's not really much need for me to go into detail. But you only hit it when the guy's in. If he's pulling back, pull back with it. And I go like this, he's gonna elbow me. And we get killed. So there's a time and place for all these. There's a time to hit the different moves. Okay? That one is pretty straightforward. If you're just gonna teach a couple things, you can teach the single, the hip drag, he pulls his hips back, you got this, he brings his hips back in, you got here. It's a good place to do it from. You'd rather have the hip in addition. See here, you could do it here, and this is where the kids fall on their face. Okay? But the hip's a little bit more of a security blanket, so they get the hip, you'll have a higher, less of an action rate, put it that way. Alright? You know, I've worked with different kids, and you know, I see what they butcher, and there's certain things that are better at certain levels, what have you. Alright, any questions up to that point? There's others, you know, if your team is an outside step, high crotch team. Okay, difference being, this is an inside step penetration, which you can do from a little distance. This is an outside step penetration, which you can do if you get that crowd in you a little bit. If your team does that, you can try to work a 2-on-1 in there in this fashion. Okay, you're in there, you're here. Okay, that's there, but I haven't personally had a lot of success with it, although I'm not a big outside step man, I'm an inside step man. The reason being is because here, if he runs his hip back, you're missing the boat, and you're in El Squasho position. Okay, but if you got if your team does a lot of this, elbow pull, high crotches, then you just do a 2-on-1 and pull the elbow. Where am I right there? I'm getting pancaked. You gotta make sure you kind of lift your arm out. Okay, right here. Just want to make sure you have that same deal on a duck. If your kid or team is a ducker, okay? You need to control something on the opposite side, just as John was finishing off. You can't just go aimlessly and duck and get, the guy's hips wailing into you. I like to control the hip right here. Okay, a little duck. It's the same footwork as the outside step, high crotch. Right there, right here, wham. Okay, or he's on my elbow a little bit. Now I've got inside tie here. Fine. Just as John did from right here. He took at the end of the clinic there, he took the elbow, took inside tie, wham. Right? Remember, you got to have control on the side opposite your duck. We had Chertow out there going like this. Fix him up, has a guy to Smith on the other side, so you have it here. Right? You wouldn't want to drop your knees like John does. John ducks like this, bounce up. No, on a 2-on-1 because you're too high up. You're up here, trying to go like this. That wouldn't work. All right. Any questions, Kevin? All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you here is a locked-out 2-on-1 position. Okay? There's advantages and disadvantages to that. All right. Now, remember I start off, you go here or here. All right, the disadvantage of this position here, this guy, if you stand there, the guy's gonna peel your wrist. Michael. Okay? Because obviously if you're supposed here, peel my wrist. It's a little harder. If I'm here, peel it. The reason I like to do this one is I got to pull to me a little better. And I do the stuff quick. I don't hang. I'm not a big hanger. I'm a goer. All right, I'm always on the guy with a 2-on-1 or underhook. Always in his face. So I don't hang very often, so I don't mind being here. But if you got somebody that's a hanger, or a kid that's a little hesitant, most kids probably will be, you can tell them to go here and move the guy. This is good position. In here moving. And when they're ready to attack, change their hands. Alright? The disadvantage of being palmed down is that you don't get as much pull. The techniques don't seem to come as fluently for me. Some people would argue otherwise, but it just depends. If you're just going to drop straight down, it's okay. Once again, I don't like to just go like that. I like to go like this. And I find that works better. Alright. Locked out 2-on-1 position. This is something that's new to me in the past couple of years. Okay? The fundamental 2-on-1s I did a little bit in high school and built on that in college. But this locked out position is something I got from studying fellow glossop. Guy in my weight class, 125 pounds, multi-time world looking champion, he's very, very good at it. And I'd watched a lot of film of him and studied him, and I knew he did his move. And, I hadn't really played with it a whole lot because I don't have a lot of patience. You gotta have a little patience in here. I like to get in there and go like this and grab the guy and wing it. Alright, or somehow get to here. Alright, or go here and just grab it. Alright, you gotta have a little more patience here. Wait for things to happen. So I watched it and I was like, yeah, I was fiddling with it a little bit. Well, then I run into this guy in competition. I know he's got this move. I'm beating on his head, he grabs me in 2-on-1, he goes like this. And I start running away and stuff. And I know what he does from there, right? And actually, it was in this small little gym in some European communist country. And the zone was like here. And he got this hold on me, and I was heading for the zone. I knew it was coming. So, run away, Mike. He goes like this. Alright, my head split open on the gym floor. At 8 stitches, the referee, alright, I'm out. It takes a lot, I got a lot of bumps on my head. It takes a lot to knock me cold. Alright, I wasn't cold. I was really, I've got these communist refs dragging me out there doing this to me. And Fritz is on this trip over there. And he's got my feet, he's pulling me back in and stuff. And it's crazy. Those refs, they don't know what's going on. They can't speak English. So anyways, I kind of got my wits about me, watched the film, and I decided it was time to work in the series. This was 3 years ago. So this move, I learned firsthand. It always helps that way. You get something done to you. I see a lot of funk, and I say, well, is this going to work? Okay, well that pretty much I decided it's time to work. All right. Once you go here, you're limited a little bit as to what you can do. It's not as easy to go back to a single leg. All right, because this hand is no longer here. Fireman's carry, going over that other side high crotch, it's just not there anymore. What it does do, it takes away his counters. Okay, I haven't shown you any counters yet. We'll come back to that in a little bit. He's in here, he can't do much to me. Okay, I got him. He's gonna just face me and I'm gonna put him down. Notice I'm always thinking about basic skills, lower my level, moving, creating an angle. Okay? First thing you gotta be able to do, the first thing you gotta do is understand the conditions. All I'm doing, taking this hand, cupping my wrist. Not grabbing my wrist, cupping my wrist. This hand, I am using my thumb on. Okay? Here. Just palm up. Remember everything I said before was like this? When he's pulling away from all this stuff, go here. Usually like this. It's easy to make the transitions. Okay? You'll play with it, you'll feel with it, you'll say, man, it's kind of weird. And then once you get a grasp of it, it's pretty easy. Alright? First technique you have to have from here is a pull down. Okay? If Mike puts his right leg back, I can pull him down. Okay? Now, obviously I need to get Mike to pull his right leg back. Okay? Something that works real good for me is I'll put my foot here. He thinks I'm going to pull his foot up into me maybe, which I wouldn't do, but I'm blocking. He'll pull his leg back, pull him down. You pull him down, you want him with your toes. It's real important. I'm not taking his arm, trying to hyperextend it like this. Okay? If you'll notice, that's not one of the moves I showed. Reason being is because the guys sometimes can, they fight a lot, but even if you get them down there, they're still going to pull their arm back up into here. Because he can always come back into an underlook. Even if I'm, this is all neat and everything, breaking his arm like this. But once you get him down there, it's still a dogfight against a good guy who's going to face you. Right there. All right? So kids will want to go and pull it to him. Take it. Now my feet are here now, but as I'm moving, they're going to end up over there. I'm squatting, not bending. Right there. Right here. Right here. Right here. Here. Okay, you can't just go like this with the weight of that foot. It won't work. Put back. Post the wrist. There. Okay. Do not go like this. Just try to run behind him as he'll be scrambling. Probably in the other direction though. See, you think if I do this to him, he's gonna be facing me. Just like that. So if I just jerk him down, like that, right? So I take the wrist that I control, post it in the mat. Right there. I got weight on it. Mike, lift your wrist. Mike, face me. Mike, face me. Keep facing me. Keep going. Okay? If you do it right, it's a real good technique. Real high percentage, real effective. Okay? I've got a lot of mileage out of that. Alright, now, if you cannot get the guy's leg, go back. Okay? One other little setup I use a little bit is if he won't buy that, keeps his foot there, I'll go like this. And if he runs his hips back out of fright, go there. But the good guys usually just stand there and kind of laugh at me. They go like this and they just push back into me with their arm. It doesn't work. But I think when I wrestled in high school, when I wrestled my brothers, high school state champ, I go like this to him, he gets petrified. He probably ends up throwing him a lot, but I go like this, he pulls his hips back. I just pull him down. Real straightforward. Alright? Now, if you pull it, okay, to defend this, obviously there's two things I want to do to get it working. I want him bent over, and I want that leg back. Push your right leg back. If he's like that, I can pull him down real easy. Alright? Not, okay, get that leg back again, bend over. I don't want to pull him this way. You got posters there, right? I want to take him over here, in this direction. Alright? So I'm like this. Wham. Wham. Just like that. Alright? Direction you want to take it. Very important that you're doing like this. and you don't take him this way, or you don't take him back up front. If you take him in line with your toes, everything will work out just fine. Here if you want, but this is better. All right. If the guy defends this by A, putting his foot forward, and B, raising up, okay, I'm jerking down, he's standing tall with me. Remember I was messing around like this? Then you go like this. All right? Now, I don't really consider it a throw. I mean, it is a throw, kind of. All right. You want to get here, it'll be like this. This is where you're going from. Now, I like to blast my hips a little bit, okay, just to get his feet up around. But it's not necessary. If you can get here on the guy, not like this, where you have to trip him. Just go, wham! Get it? Now, here's the deal. The kids will want to do this, like this. No good. All right? You got to get here. All right, so you're pull down, here. Now, if you just aim for this position, he may step out of it. So I like to aim really, really deep. I almost trip him. I go like this. Like if he were to keep his foot there, I'd probably be like this. Okay, so I'm here instead of just this. Because I figure if I go like this, he'll be facing me a little bit. He'll still be in my hips. Okay? Back to the team concept. You know, it's more straightforward than it looks. Obviously, if you have kids that can throw a little bit, it's fine. If you have a team that doesn't throw at all, this isn't the first throw type move you're going to introduce to them. Okay? But it really is a somewhat simple throw. Right? But you got to have it set up too. Okay? The guy can't be bent over. He's bent over. Bent over, Mike. If I'm doing this, he's bent over. Okay, but his foot's forward. See, I couldn't pull him down, right? I wouldn't go like this. You know, just crowd me. You got to have him raising up. Wham! Now, what am I doing with this arm? I'm going to an underhook. Question? This hand here is going here. Good man, familiar with this situation, probably will keep his arm down here. So when I go here, it's not going to be there. Okay? That's not going to happen with your kids. Okay, older guys catch on to this. They start, a kid's just going to have their arm to wherever. So it'll be easy to go like this. All right? Here. Just say if, the guy keeps his arm in. You pop the palm in the shoulder, not in their arm though. Okay? You go here, their arm bent. Right here, it doesn't bend. If I've got him locked out here, I've got my knee behind his knee. I go like this. He'll go over. Alright? So if you got some pansy kid that's gonna go like this, don't show it to him. You gotta smack the guy. Alright? So once again, you're looking for an underhook. So the first time I go into it, he blocks my underhook off. I'll do it again, I'll smack it. Okay? Let me get you a little more on the hips. Wait, I'm gonna do it 3 times, okay? You decide for yourself whether it's more of a knee block or a throw. All right? Another throw, I guess. Step around, knee block, pop your hips, take what you get. Depends on your opponent's reaction. It'll come out a little different every time. Okay? Call a step behind. Pull down, step behind. Alright? Non-committal. Don't go like this. Timber. Go this way. The only defense is to step out of it. Okay, then you're back in an over-under situation. Or better than that, I get a lot of front headlocks by just going like this. Guy pulls back, I'm over his head. on a little bit, he's scared of me throwing, right? He's scared of this, he's gonna stay upright. I go for this, he's scared of that, he pulls out. Okay, and Mike's not quite reacting enough in the sense that he's relaxed. You guy gets here, he's gonna pull his hips back. And that makes his head bend. Right over his head. Once again, back to that front headlock situation. Okay. You gotta pull down, you throw. You notice I haven't showed you single, double, high crouch. They're not really there. Not too much anyway. Right? Those are the three bread and butter things. If this foot is back and he's bent over, then you pull him down. If that foot comes forward and he stands upright, then you knock him over. Okay? Common lever. He's like that. If I put something behind his knee, and I pop. It's funny, in the room, when I'm going like this, he doesn't flinch like that. Alright. Here, if I go to this throw position, and he pulls his hips out of the throw, and bends over, I have a front headlock. Now, if he does what he just did, he pulls his hips back and stays up with his head, then I don't have anything. Then I just stay in there and keep crowding him and look to set up my pull down. I'll tell you what, if I get this position, he is going to get a lot more tired than I am. Even if I don't score. Okay? And any time I want, I go back to this. If he thinks I'm just going to be twiddling around with this thing, and he relaxes a little bit, I'm there. Okay? Let's go back to it. And without letting go of your lock, there is a little thing here. I haven't had a lot of success with this. Some of my friends have worked this half. This hand here, you remember I said it's hard to get this hand back for single. You take here, you pop him in the chest, and go here. Notice how a lot of stuff I do is shifting his weight and then attacking his leg. I don't want